Okay. Hello. If you don't, I'm blurry. If you don't know me already, my name is Frances Maye Legaspi, pronouns she or hers. I'm a fourth year transfer student majoring in astrophysics, and as I'll be spending an extra year here at UCI, I'm running for the position of Fusion's 2021-2022 secretary. You may know me from being this year's treasurer, but what you might not know is that I was originally aiming for the position of secretary as well. Um, I was an intern for Fusion last year when I first transferred, and I ended up spending most of that time shadowing Regina, the secretary at the time, and now our incoming president. Congrats again. Through that experience, I was able to get a feel for contacting alumni for our alumni panel, um, attending UCI's Alumni Association meetings, and helping put together Fusion's yearbook, just to name a few of the secretary's duties. As treasurer this year, I've been able to work closely with everyone on board, including our current secretary, Kevin. I volunteered to be Fusion's second representative in attending the Alumni Association meetings, as well as being a part of the Fusion Book Committee once more. These are just a few things I've grown familiar with over my time here in Fusion. So I feel that it would serve as a smooth transition into next year should I become secretary. Um, Outside of Fusion, I also happen to be secretary for ZotCon this year, in addition to my primary role as cosplay contest coordinator. I've considered it extra experience when it comes to listening carefully to other positions' updates and documenting that information in a structured and organized manner, especially since there's not much of a previous template during those board meetings. And moving past experience, I consider myself well organized, a careful listener, and pretty detail oriented, qualities that I think are very important when it comes to a position like secretary. Um, I attended an art school during my middle and high school years. And although it's been a while since I've done any like big serious art projects, I'd love to bring that creativity into the club's newsletters and yearbook. Um, Regarding maintaining alumni relationships, on one hand, most of my fellow board members will be graduating and becoming alumni, and I personally consider myself pretty close with most of them. So I feel like this established relationship would help in keeping in contact with them. On the other hand, because they aren't the only alumni, I also consider myself pretty approachable and friendly when it comes to words. So I think this would help reach the alumni I don't yet know. All in all, I'm running to be board member once more in an effort to continue giving back to the club. And I'm looking forward to in-person activities next year, and I'd like to continue having an active part of it. Thank you.
Once again, please raise your hand if you have any questions, put it in the chat. Otherwise, RJ.
Sorry. Hi, my name is RJ. My pronouns are he and his. First of all, good job, Francis.
Thank you.
I didn't know you were running for secretary. So you mentioned a while ago that for Fusion 2019 to 2020, that you were a intern and you took part in creating the Fusion yearbook. Mm-hmm. And as your position as the secretary for 2021 to 2022, like what major changes, if any, or like how would you relate? Yeah, what things would you change? In like creating the yearbook? Would you do something more like a drastic difference, or are you going to try to stick to the traditional format of
it? Let's see. I feel like most past yearbooks have they've all been pretty good. In terms of changes, I feel like I'd probably just put a little more thought into making the entire yearbook itself more cohesive, like aesthetically and visually. I feel like some yearbooks have been kind of broken up into sections, and maybe each section looks good and has their own theme or aesthetic, but I'd like to try and focus on making the entire thing work as one as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the question, RJ. Up next, we have Ayana.
Do you want to mute yourself? Because I might be.
Thank you.
But hi
Go ahead.
again. Yes. Hi again. Can you please elaborate on your new slash improved ideas that you have for this position next year, especially keeping in mind if UCI plans to go hybrid, since Secretary has planned multiple events of that sort. But yeah.
Wait, so it was additional like ideas for the position? Is that what the question was?
Yeah, new or improved ideas.
Okay, new or improved ideas. The Fusion podcast is something new that Kevin brought in this year. I feel like I do want to do my best to continue that. Especially like either a hybrid or in-person manner. I feel like that leaves a lot of that leaves a lot of possibility, like whether it's like yeah, more than just maybe like a Zoom meeting. But of course that's like when things are like safe enough to do that. This is also like, yeah, so I did ask Ayana some like what Kaba's secretary also does, just to get like a feel of what other secretaries do. I feel like should I become secretary this next year, I'd like the position to be more involved with like keeping track of not only alumni membership, but like general membership in general. As treasurer, I kind of kept track of who was joining and who had paid, but I think that it also helps if secretary is one of the first people who know that as well, so that they're also like immediately added to like mailing lists, and like information gets out to them like pretty quick. So I think just having a more active role in that as well.
Very beautifully said. Thank you.
Great question, Ayana. I'll take Alfredo next. We do have like 40 seconds left. So raise your hand before that time if you want your question to be taken.
Hello, I'm Alfredo, him, his fellow coworker. So Kevin expanded alumni relations with the Fusion podcast. What are some other ways you are planning to expand on alumni relations?
Alumni relations. Okay. I was, after some thought, I was thinking of just kind of like keeping in contact with alumni a little more regularly. I'm not sure how regularly Kevin is in contact with them, but like some of my ideas were extending invitations out to them for more than just like alumni focused events. So maybe like socials or Fusion Fridays, stuff like that. I feel like it's always a nice surprise seeing alumni join those kinds of events as well, and talking to like the current members and maybe like, oh yeah, stuff like that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alfredo, and thank you, Francis, for the platform and your first Q&A session.